Look at her loading up that plate. Save some for the rest of us, why don't you?" My cousin Brad laughed, pointing at my modest serving of turkey and vegetables. "Better get a reinforced chair for her, Uncle Pete." Before I tell you how I turned their cruel Thanksgiving mockery into stunned silence with a single revelation, hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments, what's the worst thing a family member has said about your appearance at a holiday gathering? Because what I revealed that day changed how they saw everything, including themselves. My name is Jennifer. I'm 31 years old, and I need to tell you about the Thanksgiving that started with fat jokes and ended with my entire extended family reevaluating their lives. Every family has its dynamics, its unspoken hierarchies. In the Morrison family, the hierarchy was simple. Success was measured by appearance and wealth. My cousins were all variations of the same theme: thin, athletic, professionally successful in visible ways. Brad was a pharmaceutical sales rep who never missed a chance to mention his six-figure income. Ashley was a real estate agent who posted gym selfies between housing listings. Tyler ran marathons and a CrossFit gym. And then there was me, size 18, working a job they didn't understand, living a life they couldn't Instagram. I'd been dreading this Thanksgiving for months. Last year had been brutal. 2 hours of helpful suggestions about diets, exercise routines, and concern for my health. But I couldn't skip it. My grandmother, the only person in the family who'd ever shown me unconditional love, had personally asked me to come. "Please, Jenny," she'd said on the phone. "I'm 87. I don't know how many more Thanksgivings I have. I want all my grandchildren there." So I went, armed with my usual defenses. A carefully chosen outfit that wouldn't invite comments, prepared responses to deflect diet talk, and a plan to leave early. The comments started before I even got my coat off. "Jennifer, wow, you're looking healthy," Aunt Linda said, her eyes scanning me up and down. In Morrison speak, healthy meant fat. "Did you drive here? I'm surprised your car could..." Tyler started, then caught himself. "I mean, traffic must have been rough." I ignored them, hugging my grandmother, who whispered, "You look beautiful, sweetheart. Don't let them dim your light." Dinner was set for 3 p.m., but the appetizers came out first. I took a small plate of vegetables and dip, finding a corner where I could exist without being a target. But Brad found me anyway. "Jen, there you are. Hey, I've got this friend who's a personal trainer. He specializes in, transformations. I could get you a discount." "I'm good, thanks." "Come on, don't you want to feel better about yourself? Look better. Maybe finally get a boyfriend." "I have a boyfriend," I said quietly. Brad laughed. "Right. What's his name? Ben and Jerry?" Ashley joined in. "She probably means her cats. How many do you have now, Jen? 5? 6? Living that spinster life?" "I don't have any cats, and I do have a boyfriend. His name is David." "Sure you do," Tyler smirked. "And I bet he's a supermodel who loves you for your personality." I didn't respond. There was no point. They'd made up their minds about who I was, what my life looked like. The fat cousin who clearly ate her feelings and would die alone surrounded by cats and empty pizza boxes. When we sat down for dinner, the seating arrangement told me everything. I was at the far end of the table next to the kids' table, as if my size might be contagious to the adults. I loaded my plate normally: turkey, stuffing, green beans, a roll. Nothing excessive, nothing that should have drawn attention, but it did anyway. "Look at her loading up that plate," Brad announced to the table. "Save some for the rest of us, why don't you? Better get a reinforced chair for her, Uncle Pete." The table erupted in laughter. Even some of the kids giggled. I felt my face burn, my hands shake. This was worse than last year. "Brad, that's enough," my grandmother said sharply. "What? I'm just joking. Jen knows we kid because we love her. Right, Jen?" "Sure," I managed. But they weren't done. As dinner progressed, the comments continued. "No wonder you're still single. Ashley said when I reached for gravy. Guys don't want to date someone who weighs more than them. I told you, I have a boyfriend. In Canada? Tyler joked. Does he go to another school? He's a doctor, actually, I said, immediately regretting it. The table exploded with laughter. A doctor, Brad wheezed. Oh, that's rich. What kind of doctor? Veterinarian? Does he work on large animals? Brad, my grandmother snapped. What? Come on, Gran. We all know Jen's making this up. No doctor is dating someone who looks like that, unless maybe he's blind. Or desperate, Ashley added. Maybe he's like 70 and needs a nurse. Is that it, Jen? Tyler piled on. You're some old doctor's caregiver and you're calling it dating. I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. The room went quiet. His name is Dr. David Chen, I said, my voice steady despite my shaking hands. He's 34, not 70. He's not blind or desperate or confused about what dating means. He's the head of pediatric surgery at Children's Hospital. And yes, he loves me, all of me, exactly as I am. Sure he does, Brad scoffed. And I'm dating a supermodel. You want proof? I pulled out my phone, my hand steadier now. Here's David and me at the hospital gala last month. Here we are hiking in Colorado. Here's him cooking dinner in my apartment that he practically lives in. Here's the key to his place he gave me after 3 months. I passed my phone around. The table grew quieter with each photo. But that's not even the best part, I continued, anger making me brave. You all sit here, judging me, making assumptions about my life based on my weight. You think you know everything about me because of my size. Well, let me tell you what you don't know. I took a deep breath. This was it, the secret I'd been keeping for 2 years. I'm a millionaire. The silence was deafening. What? Ashley laughed nervously. Come on. 2 years ago, I left my corporate job to start my own business. You all mocked me for giving up and not being able to handle real work. Remember that, Brad? You said I was taking the easy way out. Brad shifted uncomfortably. I started a company called CurveConf. It's a tech platform that helps plus-size people find healthcare providers who treat them with dignity. Doctors who have proper equipment, who don't blame every ailment on weight, who see patients as people. It started small, but last year we got venture funding. We're in 30 states now. You're lying, Tyler said, but he sounded uncertain. Google it, I said simply. CurveConf, founded by Jennifer Morrison. We just closed our Series B funding at a $50 million valuation. I own 40% of the company. Phones came out. Faces paled. Holy shit, Brad whispered, staring at his screen. It's real. There are articles in TechCrunch, Forbes. But that's not why I'm telling you this, I continued. I'm telling you because every single assumption you've made about me has been wrong. You assumed I was single because I'm fat. Wrong. You assumed I was unsuccessful because I don't brag about my income like Brad does. Wrong. You assumed I was miserable, eating my feelings, living some pathetic life. Wrong again. Jen, we didn't know, Ashley started. Of course you didn't know, because you never asked. In 5 years, not one of you has asked me about my work, my life, my happiness. You see my body and think you know my story. But you know what the really sad part is? I looked around the table at my successful, thin, conventionally attractive cousins. Brad, when was the last time you went on a second date? Ashley, how's that divorce going? Tyler, still taking those anxiety meds because running yourself into the ground isn't fixing whatever's broken inside. Each cousin looked like I'd slapped them. See, I pay attention. I ask questions. I know Brad's been striking out on dating apps for 2 years because he's shallow and boring. I know Ashley's ex left because she spent more time at the gym than with him. I know Tyler's business is failing because he spends all his time exercising instead of managing it. That's not, Tyler protested. Fair? Like mocking my weight every holiday is fair? Like assuming my life is pathetic because I'm not a size 2 is fair? My grandmother was smiling now, a proud, fierce smile. You all have everything society says should make you happy, I continued. You're thin, conventionally attractive, make decent money. But you're miserable. You're alone. You're struggling. Meanwhile, I'm fat and happy. I'm fat and loved. I'm fat and successful beyond your wildest dreams. Maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't my weight. Maybe it's your worldview. We were just joking, Brad said weakly. No, you were being cruel. There's a difference. Jokes are funny. Cruelty is designed to hurt. And you've been hurting me for years, all because my body doesn't match your narrow definition of acceptable. I picked up my purse. David's waiting in the car. We're having dinner with his family. They're also doctors and lawyers and successful people. But you know what they don't do? They don't make fun of people's bodies. They don't assume someone's worth based on their weight. They just love each other. Jen, please don't go, my grandmother said. Not yet. I softened, looking at her. I'm sorry, Gran. I love you. But I can't keep subjecting myself to this. I've spent years dreading family gatherings, starving myself before them, crying after them. I'm done. Good for you, she said firmly. Then she stood up, all 87 years of her. In fact, I'll come with you, if David's family has room for one more. Gran, Ashley gasped. What? You think I enjoy watching my grandchildren be cruel to each other? You think I'm proud of what this family has become? She looked around the table. Jennifer is the only one of you who ever calls me just to chat, who asks about my life, my health, my happiness. The rest of you only call when you need something. She walked over to me, linking her arms through mine. I'm thankful for Jennifer, for her success, her happiness, her kind heart that somehow survived this family's cruelty. The rest of you, you need to take a hard look at yourselves. As we walked out, I heard Uncle Pete say, "She's really worth millions?" That's what you took from this? Aunt Linda responded. Not that we've been horrible to her for years. In the car, David was waiting with a smile. How did it go? I brought a +1, I said, helping my grandmother into the back seat. Is that okay? Of course. Mom always makes too much food anyway. He looked at me with concern. Are you okay? I'm great, I said, and meant it. I finally told them everything. Everything? Everything. The company. You. All of it. And nothing. I'm done trying to prove my worth to people who can't see past my weight. My grandmother leaned forward. You must be David. I've heard so much about you. All good things, I hope, he smiled. The best. Thank you for loving my granddaughter the way she deserves. Thank you for raising someone so easy to love, he replied. As we drove away, my phone exploded with texts. Brad. Jen, I'm sorry. Can we talk? Ashley. I had no idea about your company. That's amazing. Tyler. We were assholes. Please come back. I turned off my phone. You know they'll want to invest now, David said, now that they know you're successful. Probably, I agreed. But my success isn't for sale to people who only value me when there's money involved. What about your parents? Gran asked. They weren't there today. Mom and Dad moved to Florida, remember? They're having dinner with their golf club friends. I paused. They're not much better than the cousins, honestly. Mom sends me diet articles every week. Their loss, Gran said firmly. David, tell me about your family. What are they like? As David described his warm, chaotic, food-loving family, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. For years, I'd believed the narrative my family pushed, that I needed to be thin to be worthy of love, success, happiness. But I'd built all those things at my current size. The truth that shut them down wasn't just about my business or my boyfriend. It was about the fundamental lie at the center of their worldview, that thin equals happy, successful, loved. I was living proof that none of that was true. My phone buzzed one more time before I fully turned it off. A text from a number I didn't recognize. "Hi, Jennifer, this is Melissa, Tyler's ex-girlfriend. He just called me crying about what happened. Good for you. I've been saying for years that your family's obsession with weight and appearance is toxic. Tyler chose the gym over our relationship every single time. I'm so happy you stood up to them. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with people who deserve you." I smiled, showing the text to David and Gran. "You know what I'm thankful for," I said. "I'm thankful for every pound on my body that helped filter out people who could only love me conditionally. I'm thankful for the struggle that led me to create a business that helps people like me. I'm thankful for finding love that sees all of me, not in spite of my size, but including it. And I'm thankful for granddaughters who know their worth," Gran added, "even when their families try to convince them otherwise." David's family welcomed us with open arms, no questions asked about the unexpected guests. His mother took one look at my tear-stained face and wrapped me in a hug. "Anyone who makes you cry doesn't deserve you at their table," she said simply. Their Thanksgiving was everything mine wasn't. Loud, warm, focused on gratitude rather than judgment. No one commented on what anyone ate. No one made jokes about bodies. They asked about my business with genuine interest, celebrated my successes, treated me like family. "This is how it should be," Gran whispered to me during dessert. "This is what family really means." Later that night, after we'd dropped Gran at her house, she'd given the rest of the family a piece of her mind via text and told them not to contact her until they'd done some serious soul-searching. David and I sat in his apartment processing the day. "I'm proud of you," he said. "That couldn't have been easy." "It was easier than sitting through another meal of their cruelty," I replied. "I should have done it years ago." "What made today different?" I thought about it. I think I finally realized that their opinion of me was never about me. It was about them. Their insecurities, their shallow values, their need to feel superior. My weight was just an easy target. And now? Now they know the truth, that their thin, successful lives aren't as perfect as they pretend. That the fat cousin they mocked has everything they claim to want. But more importantly, I know the truth. That I don't need their approval. I never did. My phone had dozens of missed calls and texts when I finally turned it back on. Most were apologies, some genuine, some clearly motivated by learning about my financial success. I deleted them all except one from my grandmother. "My darling Jennifer, today you taught an old woman that it's never too late to stand up to bullies, even when they're family, especially when they're family. Thank you for showing me what real strength looks like. All my love, Gran." The aftermath was interesting. Brad tried to pitch me his revolutionary app idea. Ashley suddenly wanted to be best friends and have lunch dates. Tyler asked if I was hiring at my company. I responded to none of them. But the real change came from unexpected places. Brad's girlfriend reached out, thanking me for exposing his shallow nature. She'd been killing herself trying to stay thin enough for him. Ashley's teenage daughter messaged me, saying I'd inspired her to stop the dangerous diet her mom had put her on. Tyler's business partner called to say Tyler had finally admitted he needed help with his exercise addiction. My truth hadn't just shut down their cruel jokes. It had started conversations they'd been avoiding for years. 6 months later, at Easter, I didn't go to the family gathering. Instead, David and I hosted our own celebration with Gran, his family, and what we called our chosen family, friends who loved us unconditionally. Gran had officially boycotted Morrison family events until, as she put it, they learned to act like human beings instead of shallow jerks. But the universe has a funny way of creating unexpected encounters. I ran into Ashley at a coffee shop near my office. She looked different, softer somehow, less perfectly put together. "Jen," she said hesitantly, "can we talk? Just for a minute?" I almost said no, but something in her expression stopped me. 5 minutes. We sat down, and Ashley surprised me by starting to cry. I owe you such an apology, not just for Thanksgiving, but for years of being horrible to you. Okay, I said neutrally. My daughter, after Thanksgiving, she told me she's been making herself throw up, trying to stay thin enough for my approval. She's 14, Jen. 14 and bulimic because I made her believe her worth was tied to her weight. I softened slightly. Is she getting help? Yes. Therapy 3 times a week. Family therapy too. The therapist, she said a lot of the same things you did, about how our family's obsession with weight is toxic, about how I've been projecting my own fears onto everyone else. And you were right, about everything. I'm getting divorced because I chose maintaining my body over maintaining my marriage. I'm estranged from my daughter because I taught her to hate herself. I'm miserable because I've spent 20 years believing that being thin would make me happy, and it never did. I'm sorry you're going through that, I said, meaning it. Don't be sorry. Be proud. Your truth bomb at Thanksgiving started a domino effect. Brad's in therapy now too. Turns out his obsession with appearance comes from our dad always calling him the fat kid, even though he was never actually overweight. Tyler admitted he exercises compulsively because he's terrified of ending up like me. Like how he saw you, which wasn't really you at all, was it? It was this projection of all our fears about being unlovable, unsuccessful, unworthy. But you're none of those things. You're the opposite. I sipped my coffee, processing this. What do you want from me, Ashley? Nothing. I mean, I'd love to repair our relationship someday, but I know I don't deserve that. I just wanted you to know that what you said mattered. It changed things. It might have saved my daughter's life. After she left, I sat there thinking about the ripple effects of speaking truth. I'd spent years absorbing their cruelty, believing on some level that I deserved it. But standing up to them hadn't just freed me, it had forced them to confront their own issues. A month later, Tyler reached out through LinkedIn. His message was professional but personal. Jen, I've been in treatment for exercise addiction and orthorexia. I wanted you to know that your success with CurveConf inspired me to start being honest about my own struggles. I'm launching a fitness recovery program for people who've taken wellness too far. No pressure, but if you ever want to talk about the intersection of our work, I'd love to buy you coffee. No jokes, no judgment, just respect. Tyler. I didn't respond immediately, but I didn't delete it either. People could change, but trust took time to rebuild. The real test came the following Thanksgiving. Gran called me in October. The family wants to try again, she said, but I told them it's your choice. They've all been in therapy, making real changes, but you don't owe them anything. What do you think I should do? Whatever feels right for you, sweetheart. You've built a beautiful life without them. You don't need them. The question is whether you want to give them another chance. I thought about it for weeks, discussed it with David, with my therapist, with my chosen family. In the end, curiosity won. I agreed to attend, but with conditions. Any weight or food comments and I'd leave immediately. David would come with me. We'd have our own car for easy escape. The difference was noticeable from the moment we arrived. No comments about my appearance. No jokes about the chairs. Brad actually asked about my business with genuine interest. Ashley's daughter hugged me and whispered, "Thank you for being brave." Dinner was awkward but civil. They'd clearly been coached, probably by their therapists, on appropriate conversation. But halfway through the meal, Tyler broke the careful script. "Can I say something?" he asked, looking at me. "Last year, I mocked you for things I was jealous of. You had the courage to be yourself while I was killing myself trying to be perfect. You built a successful business while I was running mine into the ground. You found real love while I pushed everyone away. I'm sorry, Jen, not just for the jokes, but for years of being too insecure to see how amazing you are." "Thank you," I said simply. "That means a lot." Brad cleared his throat. I owe you an apology too. I've been the worst. Making jokes because I was terrified of gaining weight myself, of being unlovable like I made you feel. I'm working on it, on being a better person, on seeing people as more than their bodies. We all are, Ashley added. Family therapy has been eye-opening. We learned our whole family dynamic was built on criticism disguised as concern, on tearing each other down instead of building each other up. What changed? I asked. You did, my Uncle Pete said quietly. You showed us that everything we believed about success and happiness was wrong, that our thin, successful lives were actually empty, that the cousin we pitied was actually the one to envy. I don't want to be envied, I said. I just wanted to be seen, as a whole person, not a body to be mocked. We see you now, Ashley said. All of you. The successful CEO, the loving partner, the loyal granddaughter. The woman who had the courage to speak truth to a family, too wrapped up in lies to see it. It wasn't perfect. Years of hurt don't disappear with one apology. But it was a start. We made it through dinner without anyone commenting on food or bodies. Gran beamed the whole time. David charmed everyone with his warmth and humor. As we were leaving, Brad pulled me aside. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm proud to be your cousin. You changed our whole family by refusing to accept our cruelty. Thank you. In the car, David took my hand. How do you feel? Like I won, I said. Not because they apologized or changed, but because I spoke my truth. I refused to let them define me. And maybe, just maybe, I helped them stop defining themselves by such narrow standards too. Would you do it again? Go through all those years of mockery to get to this point? I thought about it. No, I wouldn't wish that pain on anyone. But I'm grateful for where it led, for the business I built from that pain, for the strength I found, for the life I created in spite of, or maybe because of, their cruelty. And your family? They're learning. Whether they become people I want in my life remains to be seen. But at least now they're seeing themselves clearly. That's growth. My phone buzzed with a text from Gran. Proud of you for giving them another chance. Prouder of you for being strong enough not to need it. Love you always. That's the thing about revealing your truths. It doesn't just shut down the mockers. It forces everyone to examine their own lies. My family had built their entire identity around being thin and conventionally successful. When the fat cousin they pitied turned out to be happier and more successful than all of them, it shattered their worldview. But here's what I learned. Their cruelty was never about me. It was about their own terror of being unworthy. Every fat joke was a wall between them and their fear of not being enough. Every comment about my weight was really about their own desperate need to feel superior. I'd spent years believing I was the broken one. Turns out I was the only one who was whole. These days, CurveConf is valued at over $100 million. We've helped thousands of plus-size people find respectful health care. David and I are engaged, planning a wedding where every body will be celebrated. Gran is my maid of honor, still fierce at 89. And my cousins? They're works in progress. Brad's learning to date women for their personalities. Ashley's rebuilding her relationship with her daughter. Tyler's fitness recovery program actually partners with my company now, helping people heal their relationships with their bodies. They still slip sometimes. Old habits die hard. But when Brad catches himself about to make a fat joke, he stops. When Ashley starts to comment on someone's food choices, she redirects. When Tyler begins obsessing about his workout, he calls his sponsor. They're learning what I always knew, that worth isn't measured in pounds or muscle mass or the size of your jeans. It's measured in kindness, in courage, in the ability to see people as whole humans deserving of respect. That Thanksgiving, they laughed at my weight. But I had the last laugh. Not through revenge, but through living proof that their entire belief system was a lie. That you can be fat and successful, fat and loved, fat and happy. My name is Jennifer. I'm a size 18 CEO worth millions. I'm engaged to a wonderful man who loves every inch of me. I have a chosen family who sees my worth beyond my weight, and I have a biological family who's slowly learning to do the same. All because I finally told the truth that shut them down, that their mockery said everything about them and nothing about me. What would you do if your family constantly mocked your appearance? Would you suffer in silence or speak your truth? Tell me in the comments below, and remember, the people who truly matter will love you at any size. Don't waste years trying to prove your worth to those who can only see your weight. Subscribe for more stories of triumph over family cruelty, and share this with anyone who needs to hear that their worth isn't measured by a scale. Next week, I'll share what happened when a bride's entire family refused to attend her wedding because of her size, and the incredible way her community stepped up. Until then, know this: you are worthy of love, respect, and success exactly as you are. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise.